Over the past month or so, millions of people have been shocked and outraged by a troubling video of a young man who kicked a sea lion in La Jolla.
As a result, the California Coastal Commission is suggesting roping off La Jolla Cove for part of the year to separate people from wildlife. Our KUSI's Dan Plant joins us live from La Jolla with reaction from the council member from that district. Dan, it is so sad that it's coming to this point, but we're kind of not surprised that they're suggesting to do something like this.
Yeah, well, when you have a video like that that is so powerful and, obviously very disturbing, then it reaches to a lot of different places. I understand, actually, it's now on 12 different social media platforms with millions and millions of hits all across the world. And yes, the California Coastal Commission got a hold of this video as well, and they had a meeting last week talking about what they should do about enforcing some of these laws. Now, let's just make one thing clear. What happened in that video with an 18-year-old kid at midnight, somewhere around here, is different from what happens every single day down here when people just get too close, or they want to take a selfie, or they accidentally disturb some of the wildlife. Most of the people down here, they just want to sort of coexist and commingle, but obviously there are those who want to get way too close. And these are federally protected species out here. And by the way, how beautiful is this? I mean, are you kidding me? Look at that water. It's just unbelievable. It looks like there's more humans in the water right now than there are seals. The seals have taken a little swim somewhere else, but they'll be back, as we know. And yeah, so that video is tough to watch. We're going to start with that video, then get the comment from the California Coastal Commission, and then reaction from Jolla, who's the council member over here. Take a look.
It's one of the most disturbing displays of animal abuse ever recorded around La Jolla Cove. For whatever twisted reason, this 18-year-old and his buddy thought it would be funny to attack a protected sea lion and capture the abuse on video. Well, that video has now made its way to high places, and members of the California Coastal Commission are not laughing.
That I'm beyond angry and fairly, quite honestly, just embarrassed to be a city of San Diego resident right now.
Please do not approach sea lions.
Sadly, this kind of thing has been happening for years, if not decades out here. But as a result of that viral video, some members of the California Coastal Commission have criticized the city for lack of enforcement. One commissioner even suggesting the city close off the cove during pupping season to separate the humans, an idea that the council member from this area will not be entertaining.
The message to the community is, I still see La Jolla Cove as a bright line. We want to make sure that people have access to the water, access to the beach, as they have had since people started showing up in La Jolla.
It's an interesting dynamic, to say the least. One of those rare places where a colony of California sea lions shares a public space with inquisitive humans. But in strictly legal terms, the health and welfare of these sea lions is a federal matter covered under the Marine Mammal Protection Act.
Challenge is, it's a federal law, not a state law, not a local law. So NOAA is the one. NOAA does not have staff.
Oh, this is such a beautiful area.
As a professional photographer, Jim Grant has been documenting the interaction between sea lions and humans for many years. And during that time, he has captured everything from abuse to dangerous behavior for both the humans and the wildlife.
I've seen a lot of instances where people try to get as close as they can. They try to put their hand on their head and pat them. They put their kids up right next to them, and then they try to get a selfie with their children 2, 3, 4, 5 feet away. And sometimes the big ones, or sometimes the small ones, they'll lunge at them and they'll go like they're going to bite them. Yeah. So I've seen just all kinds of things happen here with people doing unsmart things.
But since this does fall under federal jurisdiction, there's only so much that the state and local law enforcement can do except give warnings. One thing appears clear: the city will not be considering a rope to cut off access to the cove.
For me, La Jolla Cove is that last stand. It's where that bright line is. It's too iconic, it's too historic to think about a closure there.
Out here live, one of the most beautiful places on earth where humans and wildlife do commingle normally, but obviously there are exceptions. And what a beautiful, beautiful day. Now, here's what's going on. Jolla said that this is opening up a discussion over at City Hall to maybe give the park rangers the authority to give out tickets, which they do not have right now. The park rangers cannot give out tickets because this is a federal law and federal jurisdiction. So they don't have the ability. So what they're talking about is maybe enable the park rangers to give out tickets, and that might be a disincentive for people to harass the animals. The other thing is that this 18-year-old kid has pled guilty. He has said, yes, that's me on the video, and he will be sentenced in federal court on October 20th as a result of this video being posted. He will be sentenced. He could get up to a year in prison and a $100,000 fine for what you saw in that video. But again, that is federal court, not state court, not local court. This is a federal issue, but perhaps the locals can get the authority to start handing out tickets, and that might be a disincentive. But, you know, it's hard to even think about anything bad happening down here when you look around and see how beautiful this is. It's really a dichotomy of, you know, beauty and the beast, I guess you might say. So we'll leave you with the shots out here. All these people having a good time in that beautiful 75-degree water. Some of these people have been out here swimming for decades, before the seals even showed up. Anyway, throw it back to you guys.